Okay, so we'll have a short orientation because this is a easy syllabus. With respect to number of questions asked from internal security, on an average, 3 questions is asked every year. Okay, with respect to governance, they ask almost 5 to 6 questions. Okay, so generally, uh, we have to understand the syllabus first, and then know the source, and then prepare for the exam. And the nature of the previous year questions also has to be discussed. Okay. Now, in this internal security syllabus, the first subtopic is role of external state and non-state actors in creating challenges to internal security. Okay, so state means other countries like Pakistan, China, okay, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. As an institution, you know what are the problems they are creating as a state, how they are leading to internal security problems. Okay, so internal security problems, first of all, what are the internal security problems? Anything which affects the unity of the country, anything which would disturb the social order, normal order, rule-based order, that will result in disturbance to internal security. So any insurgencies, any protest movements which goes out of the hand, okay, any separatist movements, any regionalist movements, okay. For example, currently big issues going in Manipur, okay, between the Meiteis and the Cookies. Between the Meiteis and the Cookies. So this is one of the current example of how internal security. This is caused by internal matter. Okay, now they're asking about role of external state, okay, countries, non-state actors, which means terrorist organizations, international NGOs. Sometimes, you know, by giving some reports, false reports on India, they may create internal security problems. But sometimes the report may be correct, but it is not appropriate to be released on a particular time. So when you say that non-state actors, it includes NGOs, it includes terrorist organization, it includes international uh, organizations, multilateral organizations, okay, and then their sub-institutions, okay. All these things comes into play, okay. So let's go to the next topic. So when you, what is the source? Already we have given the source in the group. Okay, the internal security book, as per the UPC syllabus, is written by Raj Kumar. Okay, internal security challenges. Okay, he was an important faculty with us in the past. Right now, he's working in another academy. We are looking forward for him to join us. Okay, I've read his book. In fact, I was one of the first few persons who gave review, okay, of the draft of his book. It is meticulously written. What is required for the examination, that only is there. There is no stories there. And the sources he has referred is not just another books, but also various magazines like EPW, Frontline, and daily newspapers. Okay, from all those things and the government authentic websites, he has compiled the material. So stick to that one book alone for the internal security syllabus. Okay, so the link is given. So that is the source for your internal security. Okay. Now, yeah. Challenges to internal security through communication networks. Okay, the role of media and social networking sites in internal security challenges. So you have to divide the topic. The first topic, challenges to internal security through communication networks. Okay, so here the recent problems like penetration of Chinese hardware into India. Okay, and the usage of softwares like Pegasus, which is used to spy on Indian leaders. Okay, Indian and the issue of data localization. Okay, that is very important because if data is not localized, there is a bigger threat for internal security because people can operate from outside and create damage. Okay, they can make certain content which is very sensitive viral. Okay, to further their own agenda and ideas. Okay, so that is there. So, want to read this topic? Communication networks. Recently, there is a lot of communication related decisions taken by the government. Okay, it is solely taken on the basis of, or the government justifies the action on the communication networks, citing the internal security reasons. Okay, so you have to go through the current affairs in such a way, okay, wherever communication related, network related, social media related regulations are coming. For example, IT intermediary rules and regulations, this year it has to be implemented. If not, it is implemented. The Indian government has warned that the specific companies which is not adhering or complying to the government decisions will be uh, not allowed to operate, or they'll be made to face the uh, legal action, okay, from the government of India. So you have to take the current affairs, and wherever there is a communication related thing, you have to go. And basics of cyber security, money laundering and its prevention. See, cyber security need not go in depth. Already in science and technology, you would have read cyber security. And cyber security, in the light of internal security, you have to how terrorists, how some groups, pressure groups, or some fringe elements, they use social media, how to curtail them, how to prevent them. Okay, and money laundering is a separate subject. Okay, you have to talk about what are the ways of money laundering and how to stop it, the measures. Okay, fine. Yeah. Next, linkages between development and spread of extremism. Okay, so this generally they say whichever state or whichever region is socially and economically underdeveloped, there is a possibility of insurgency or insurgent movements spread in these areas very faster. Okay, so the linkages, for example, in the social economic development, less developed area, socially and economically, there won't be employment. So the youth there, okay, find a good employment in the insurgency organization. They get money, they get a kind of security in life, so they join. Next is a kind of pride. Okay, they are not respected in the local area, but when they join a specific organization, okay, and they get a kind of pride and a social status, which is also the reason. So when you go for social and economic development, automatically the extremism will be curtailed. This has been shown by recent data for the past 20 years. Naxalism is slowly fading away. It's not only because of the military action, but also socio-economic development that is injected into the left-wing extremist districts by various schemes and pumping in a lot of money. Okay, so that you have to prepare. Okay, and you just open the book there directly. Linkages between development spread of points is given. Just read it and come and write. No need to search anywhere else except for current affairs addition value addition. You have to do. Okay, security challenges and their management in border areas linked organized crime with terrorism. Now, what is organized crime? Okay, a crime is actually one when a person do it out of emotion. Okay, like he or she is affected by a particular thing, and because of that, a person is involving in a crime without monetary gain. Okay, but that's purely psychological or sociological. That is an ordinary crime. Whereas organized crime is where mafia style. Okay, people come together, they involved in the crime to earn money, and they do not do it because they have a personal grudge. Rather than they have a personal monetary gain, economic gain. Okay, so here you have to talk about internal security challenge because of organized criminals, because ordinary criminals can be easily controlled by the political, legal, and law enforcement authorities. Whereas organized crime is the biggest challenge to the country. Okay, so how these organized crime? When you say organized crime, it involves money laundering. It involves human trafficking. Okay, it involves child trafficking. It involves drug trafficking. It involves sale of bad drugs. I would say drugs which is not having efficacy. Okay, just you sell it just because you want to get income. Okay, and there is a network where they sell the drugs which is gone out of expiry date. Okay, like that and all. Okay, so those areas you have to cover, and then various security forces and agencies and their mandate. This is very simple. So starting from CRPF, CASF, Okay, there will be various forces, BSF, what is their mandate, why it has been created, why don't we have a single force, security force, rather we have different security forces for different terrain. For example, we find that India-China border is safeguarded by Indo-Tibetan border force, whereas Bangladesh it is border security force. With respect to Pakistan, we have army playing an important role. At the same time, we also involve the Central Reserve Police in the administration of Jammu and Kashmir. So we have different, because the geographical terrain is different. Each force has to be trained in a particular way. That is why we have various security forces. That is why it is important for us to know their mandate. Here, one point, whenever you are reading a mandate, you just read why that force has been created. There will be a history. Okay, for example, after Indo-China war, only ITBP started because we felt the need to train people in mountain warfare. Okay, so you have to prepare it in that structure. Security forces, their name, why they were created, what is the history behind it, okay, and what is their mandate. And one more point you have to take, what is the role they are playing? Whether they're playing a successful role. The BSF is successful in certain areas, they are not successful in stopping the cattle smuggling or people's intrusion into India from Bangladesh. Okay, likewise, ITBP, is not able to control the Chinese aggression. So, how far they are performing their mandate, that also you take notes. That is where their last question from. And to increase their role or make their mandate achievable, what are all measures, reforms has to be undertaken as we discussed. Okay, so just see the previous questions from internal security. This is 2002 question. Keeping in view India's internal security, analyze the impact of cross-border cyber attacks. Okay, I just got to annotate here. Underline cyber attacks. Also discuss defensive measures against these sophisticated attacks. Okay, now here you will be talking about cross-border physical actions, other things and all. But here the mandate is you have to speak with respect to cyber attacks. Okay, so usage of viruses, okay, worms, spying softwares. Okay, so all those things, we have to link it to the internal security. See, here, I would like to talk about internal security. What is internal security? Is it only military security? No, I told you no, it is not that. It is not only disturbance to the government, agitation against the government, but also it is disturbance to law and order. It is also economic insecurity, social insecurity, education insecurity, or a particular group is attacked. Okay, then it's also internal security. So internal security you can divide it into two. One is traditional, another is non-traditional. So what do you mean by traditional? Military security or maintenance of order of the state is security. But other things also, the socio-economic dimensions also impact the security. So non-traditional security aspects also should be. Okay, so you cover that all the dimensions and then defensive measures. Okay, so it's a 10 marker. So just have one page of write up on the impact of cross-border analysis, how it is impacting and then you can talk about the defensive measures. This can be bulletin points also, because whenever they ask about measures, suggest and all, you can go for point by point explanation. Okay. Then next question. Okay. So analyze the multi-dimensional challenges, not one dimension, posed by external state and non-state actors. To internal say syllabus, directly syllabus. Okay, if you go to the syllabus, they've asked about external state and non-state actors, challenges posed by them to internal security of India, and then measures required. So you just stick to the book. Okay, they've given the explanation for the topic. That alone you can mark and you can exactly reproduce in the paper. Okay, value addition how you can give by citing current examples. Okay, multi-dimensional means political dimension, economic dimension, security dimension, development dimension. Okay, political stability dimension. Okay, because of external actors and state actors, there may be political instability. Right to life. Okay, right to get social security. So all those areas and all you have to include. Okay, question. I'm just telling you, just read the book based on the syllabus, cover it. That itself is suffice. And remember, don't keep memorizing. Read so that allow the informations to get into your mind, percolate into your mind, and it sticks with your mind. If you are trying to memorize the very next day after the examination, you will forget. But when you read it organically, okay, then it will be easier for you to study. Analyze the complexity and intensity of terrorism. It causes the linkages and see it the linkages between terrorism with the problems. They are talking about complexity and intensity of terrorism. The definition of terrorism is itself is complexity, and that is given in the book itself. Okay, so you just read them, you'll be able to answer. Then also suggest measures required to be taken to eradicate the menace of terrorism. Okay, you can very well do that. Okay, see, all three questions they are asking about measures, right? So for each of the internal security problem syllabus topic they have given the four topics, okay, or you can make it more subtopics. For each subtopic, you have to talk about what is the problem, why such problem is occurring, and what is the measure that can be taken to address that problem. So in this way, if you study, you will be able to be well prepared for the examination and take the internal security questions with confidence. Okay. Next is governance. Okay, governance 5 to 6 questions they're asking. And as I told you already, if you are reading current affairs continuously, they are asking questions from current affairs only. Okay, let me show that. Let me demonstrate to that. To what extent, in your opinion, has the decentralization of power in India changed the governance landscape at the grassroots? So this is a regular question, Panchayati Raj. Okay, decentralization of power that you can come up. Now the question is they are asking to what extent. So you have to say what Panchayati Raj just did, what it is yet to do. Okay, and what is the way to achieve it. Okay, in that way you have to write the answer. Okay, then see, Gadi Shakti Yojana needs meticulous coordination between the government and the private sector to achieve the goal of connectivity. Now, Gadi Shakti Yojana was introduced in that year's 2002 budget. Okay, so if you have read about Gadi Shakti Yojana, there are multiple dimensions. Okay, where we are going to create a platform, and in this platform, approvals, request for approvals, tracking of projects is going to happen in one place, in which there will be communication with the private sector also. And then see, they themselves are given meticulous coordination between the government and private sector. The inclusion of private sector in development of infrastructure with a well laid out plan, not just a rhetoric. It is a well written down plan, a projection for developing India's infrastructure program. Now, one example is, for example, 2003, whatever they introduced in the budget, that they could be asked in the mains exam. Like any new governance measure is taken, it may be for farmers, it may be for children, it may be for women, it may be for national unity. Okay, so in order to increase the efficiency of a particular transport system, okay, now airport privatization, that is taking place. Okay, so those things, they can ask. So you prepare it based on the current affairs. Okay, the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 remains only a legal document without intense sensitization of government functionaries and citizens regarding disability. Comment. Now, there was a report by the Human Rights Commission in 2022 of India, as well as the Organization for Rights of Persons with Disabilities, they filed a case in the court of law for sensitizing the government officials about the act, as well as the sensitiveness of the persons with disabilities. So that is why they've asked. So one who have gone through the newspaper, okay. So I may even demonstrate it. Year 2022, what was happening is they wanted to prepare a draft bill to include the rights of the sports persons with disabilities. That is why they've asked the question. Yeah. Important aspects of governance. What are the transparency? Okay. How to prepare for this topic? I'll just give you a framework, a template. Okay. With that, you can prepare. The source book for governances, as already I told you in class, Kultik Mathur. So, government to governance. Okay. That book around. So, many of you saying, sir, it is like a story. We don't find the concrete points and all. First, read the book. Okay. They have given the basic minimum information that you should know to understand governance, and it will make you clearly understand the aspect of governance, and it will prepare you for civil services where you will do exactly what is demanded by the country. Okay, so in fact, completing the book would be a game changer. It will make your mains writing in other subjects also uh, a better one, efficient one. It will show the difference. Okay, because you will give solution not as a layperson, not as an economist, but as an administrator, one who wants to implement principles of governance. Okay, fine. Now you have this word transparency. Okay, so you have to read that book. In that book, they have talked about transparency. Okay, there. What is the meaning of the word transparency? Okay, why lack of transparency? You must know, right, why governments does not want to be transparent. There is reason for it. Okay, because it may be a law and order situation. It not maybe non-acceptable of the people. It may be provoking. If the information is given, it may provoke and create a social order problem, social and law and order problem. Okay, so why lack of transparency? What are the measures of transparency that is taken by the government? What measures suggested by civil society, that is media, associations and all, right? Okay. And if you have any measure, important point, for example, Section 3 of Right to Information Act says that the government should share maximum information about its functioning. The government means the department, concerned department, has to share the maximum amount of information so that the people need not file RTA, okay, in order to understand what is taking place inside the government. Okay, so some of the measures like that, citizen charter, okay, and all. So you have to talk about the measures. Then what are the problems in those measures, or I say issues and suggestions? See, in governance paper, internal security paper, paper 3 and all, you write as many suggestions as possible. You gain the marks. Okay, if you think that I'm going to represent exactly what the book is saying, that would not fetch your marks because all other people are going to write the same. But when you give your suggestion, more number of suggestions, you give your analysis, you give your point of opinion, then there is a chances of getting more marks in the paper. Okay, right. Next, yeah, like that, do the same thing for accountability, e-governance, applications, models, e-governance models, no, all types of models. In current affairs, we have CoWIN. Okay, CoWIN. Similarly, they WeWin, I think. Okay, they have created another network and they are planning it, to ensure that all the people are getting the benefits of all the government schemes by the tracking mechanism that has been established uh, based on COVID app. Okay, so what are their models? What are the success? What is the limitations? Maybe digital divide is the limitation, and what is the potential? Okay, so for each words, five points at least you take. Okay, so five applications. Okay, and that application of five models. Okay, why they are successful? What is the negative in it, and what is the potential, future potential of the e-governance? No, for this. Okay. Okay, I've told you the source, how to read, okay, and how to prepare notes on those topics. Okay, rely on these two books alone. You may be asking, sir, there is a short period of time only. I can understand that. Okay, so just give a casual reading. Okay, and with that reading itself, you can take up the test. Okay, any other doubts you want to ask? Do you think no, these 3 days is enough for you to take up the exam? All the best. Do well. Thank you.